afternoon. It's May 28th. Welcome to the Shades of Clarity channel with Mr. B. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody had a great Memorial Day. Today I want to talk about the possibility of the connection between traumatic brain injuries and alcoholism or alcohol use disorder in general. A fellow YouTuber had suggested that his head injury possibly had something to do with the problems that he had with his alcohol withdrawal. And I came across an abstract that was written. It was for the American Psychological Association called Alcohol Use Disorder and TBI, which is traumatic brain injury. And I'd like to read the abstract. I wasn't able to access the whole article. It says almost use of traumatic brain injury, TMI, are inextricably and biodirectionally linked. Alcohol intoxication is one of the strongest predictors of TBI, and a substantial proportion of TBIs occur in this intoxicated individuals. An inverse relationship is also emerging, such that TBI can serve as a risk factor or modulate the course of alcohol use disorder. Critically, alcohol use after TBI is a key predictor of rehabilitation outcomes, prognosis, and additional head injuries. And what I gathered from that is there seems to be a correlation between people that have had head injuries. Like I never really thought about this until I watched the other videos. I want to say when I was in middle school in the 6th grade, well before that, let's back up. I had popped a wheelie on my bicycle and crashed it in the middle of the street, and I don't remember a thing about it. All I know is there were headlights. When I sort of came around out of my daze, a neighbor down the street, this naval officer, had picked me up, and he's like, "You okay?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I don't know what happened." He said, "Well, I saw you lying in the middle of the road." I went to the doctor the next day, and he diagnosed me with having a concussion, a severe concussion. I didn't have a CAT scan. I don't know why he said severe if I didn't have a CAT scan, but it was that whole night. You know, he advised my folks. He's like, "Don't let him go to sleep. Try to keep him awake." You know, I had a fan blowing because my head hurt so bad. I'd never had a headache that bad. And the second time I was in 6th grade, and for some reason the light switch, you had to have some kind of instrument. I guess I didn't want kids fooling around with the lights or whatever, but you had to have this thing that would turn it on and off. You would insert it. I guess some kid had fashioned something where you could turn the lights off. So I had this guy, a friend, I would guess. I don't know. I don't know if he's just a guy I kind of hung out with. Some guy shut the lights off. I don't know if they had figured, well, let's pull a prank on this guy. And he grabbed me from behind, and I was like, I didn't know who had grabbed me or whatever, and I'm shaking like left and right trying to get down while I pounded my head against the inside of the bathroom and just saw these stars. It was really weird. It looked like, if you guys can remember the Williams video game that came after Defender, which was one of my favorite video games, by the way. That had these things called quarks, and they were weird looking star-like things. God, it's hot in here. And that's what I saw. I saw these quarks looking, and I had stumbled out of the bathroom and I had this blind spot in my right eye, and it was really, really just strange. I'd never had it. It was just blankness, but around it I could see, if I turned my head, I could see, you know, sort of straight ahead, but once I moved my head to focus or look at anything ahead of me, I still had this blank spot. So once again I went to the doctor, and he's like, "You've had a concussion." And it again, it was like the worst headache. I just got, to thinking, well, I wonder if this had anything to do with my alcohol use disorder and what happened later on. Didn't really think about it at the time. I mean, there's concussions have caused all kinds of problems, with athletes later on, especially football players. Muhammad Ali getting hit in the head, throughout his boxing career, people speculated that his Parkinson's disease was probably caused by being injured in the ring. It's just, it's traumatic head injuries. I mean, and luckily I didn't, crack my skull open. Both times, like, they never did CAT scans on me. So I don't know if it had anything to do with that. I had a previous CAT scan when I was 14 because I was suffering panic attacks and had to be hospitalized over that. And they were, I guess they were looking for a possible lesion or brain tumor. That's why they wanted to do the CAT scan, and everything came out normal. But I think that played a lot later on in my decision to drink, because I hadn't had any kind of problems with anxiety, fear, anything of that nature until the first panic attack happened. It was in 7th grade, and I had to slump down. I was in class, and it was the most embarrassing thing in the world. I had to go on homebound for a while. I got all my assignments at home because I didn't want to go to school anymore because I was afraid these panic attacks were going to happen. So I think maybe that sort of was a precursor or predisposed me for future alcohol use disorder. It was just something to think about, and I hadn't really thought about the head injuries. But it was a bad time, not being able to go to school and things in that nature. I was worried about because the next year I'd be going to high school, and the first day I was scared to death that I was going to run into these panic attacks again. But it didn't happen. I guess people that have panic attacks in elevators, wherever the panic attack originates, people have claimed that they avoid it, whether it's a car, elevator, a certain situation. Mine being that particular school. So when I went to 9th grade, I was, worried. But after the first day, there was a little bit of nervousness, a little bit of anxiety. But after the first day, I was fine. Never had another panic attack after that until later on with the alcohol withdrawals. But I previously stated in other videos there was only one cold turkey where I just about went out of my mind and didn't get any help at all from anybody. And it was pretty bad. But I did start thinking about the head injuries and everything, and wondered if that could have been predisposed me. And according to that abstract, I wasn't able to read the rest of the article published in 2018, like I said, that it may in fact cause problems with alcohol use disorder and withdrawal. So I thought I'd just drop a video. Hope everybody had a really good, I had to work, but so I didn't really get to go to the beach or do anything like that. I would have liked to have done it. But all my friends in recovery, I hope you are doing well. And with that, I will let you go. If you like the content that I put out, please subscribe, hit the bell. You know the deal. But you guys take it easy, and always remember, you guys take it easy. I'll see you later.